This will be the last episode of class. We got to find some kind of resolution of figuring out why so many of us participating in this hatred attitude. I come up with one of my books, Breaking the Curse of the Willie Lynch. And then I come with my other book, You Sing the Art of War. So I come up with this strategy. It ain't nothing new, but the son of two, the art of war. This book, it gives you the strategy how to deal with your enemy. You can deal with your enemy with a mental, psychological warfare. And if you think that the masses have not read this book, you fooling yourself. And we definitely know the Willie Lynch letters of making of a slave. They still exist today. It's a recycle that's constantly going on. Especially when you act like you pretending that you don't give a goddamn about your own melanin people. Right here in your neighborhood. So, to go no further, I'm Chocolate Amun Ra, and I want to say this to you. I'm going to show more videos letting it explain itself and how people feel the way they feel. So you don't think it's just something that I'm just making up. Because one thing I do learn that a lot of you are ignorant to what's going on. But I don't think to use ignorant is the proper word. I think you have fear. Also, you choose not to pay attention to what's going on. You blocking it out like, I don't want to deal with that. You know it's in your circle. You know it exists. You know it's alive. And the masses of people, they use that to a degree without even putting their hands on you. Because they know you are mentally still a slave. These books ain't written because somebody just making it up. You can see the attitude and the behavior. You can see it. Huh? And it ain't going away. So, let's get into this video.
Jordan, IKYG.
So our relationships as African men and African women, to a large extent, they are in crisis. There are many great women, there are many great men, but there are also many challenging aspects of how we relate. And this goes back to both slavery and colonialism, because from an economical and political and cultural point of view, certain things were done to us because there is a war in which our infighting, when I, for instance, disrespect an African woman, when I say hateful things to an African woman, I'm delivering on this. I'm making, if I should call it a system that wants us to stay broken, I'm adding to that. I'm giving more fuel to that. And I think we need to stop that. We need to be able to build against that. We need to rebuild. I've had the privilege of being schooled by many sisters around me, strong sisters, and it dawns on me that many African men are not used to strong women, or we have kind of developed a fear for strong women because in the stereotypical way, a strong African woman means somebody who's condescending, somebody who talks down to you, somebody who's an attitude, somebody who thinks she's clever, somebody who doesn't need a man, all those things. That's what we're kind of being fed as a stereotype of a strong African woman. But that's not what a strong African woman is. A strong African woman is somebody who holds her ground. Yes, can lean on you sometimes, but not because she's weak, but because she can afford to, because she sees a warrior in you, and together you can actually support each other on that road. The role models that I had access to were not necessarily African men who emulated strong family values, who had respect for women, who were very considerate about them being fathers of small children and taking that responsibility. It was the opposite. And it could be easy for me to look at this and say that this is just what it means to be a black man. But as I grew older, I started to analyze that this is not about capability, this is not about ability, it's about brokenness. It's about being a product or a result of hundreds of years of breaking down slowly by slowly, step by step, personhood, individuality, communalism, values, culture, understanding of self, spirituality, knowledge and awareness of history, all these essential tools that you need to be able to develop a full identity. So many of us never even get to a stage where we develop a full identity. I see that even within my own family, there are people within our families in the Caribbean who are very resentful towards the African continent and say that I would never go Africa. Those people sold us. And at the same time, on the continent, we have many people who say those people that are in diaspora, yeah, they might be looking black, but they are just lost. So that, again, is us delivering on that system that wants to make us disunited. We have gone through so many layers of oppression that we have lost many of the very valuable and important.
Now, brothers and sisters, as you watch that video, I hope that you had your pencils and papers and you wrote down information. When the brother was telling you about two different continents, one, Africa, two, here in America, and tell you both groups of people had negative impacts on each other. American people says, I don't want to deal with African people because they sold us. True. But did everybody in Africa sold us? Only 13 nations sold us. But that hate is still in your heart. Number two, the Africans, that's in Africa, look at black African American people and go, they look black, but they don't act like us. They're not nothing like us. They still lost. You can tell what's going on. Now, that whole segment, the clip that I showed you, gives you evidence. Now, I've seen evidence face to face dealing with Africans and their attitude. All of them is not like that, but quite a few of them are arrogant, and they come here in our country with this attitude, like they pissed at us for some damn reason. And then you get those religious African people who will tell you, well, Jesus is a white man. You'll get those, come from Sudan and all them other, and Guana and all them other tribes. Because what you got is you get a lot of religious people, missionaries, that go out there in Africa and start preaching that their Lord and Savior is a white man. And they suck that up and believe it. But to be honest with you, if you start digging a little deeper, it's that their presidents, their kings and queens, they control their tribes, they control their nation, and they let them know, if I serve Jesus, you serve Jesus. Get deep, y'all. Get deep. Get deep. And then you can tell when they come here, and they come in, they run into someone who knows what they're talking about, and they get the whole cliche that a lot of our black brothers and sisters say, it doesn't matter. That Willie Lynch curse is deep. It's knee deep. I'm about to get into another clip. This clip is about why these black men don't date black women. We need to understand and and want to know why. Because this curse is deep. And the war, Sun Yu, the art of war exists. The problem is, the masses, they already use it on us, but you can't see it because it's sitting back. So now the people, our people are using this shit against each other. Hate. Black on black hate. The black man hate the black man. The black woman hate the black woman. The black woman hate the black man. The black man hate the black woman. And then teaching these children something wrong. Because that curse got to be lifted up. We got to unite as a people. I know we divided in many divisions. Because if you don't know who your descendant is from your blood type, DNA, you don't know nothing. Real talk. Let's get into the video.
Angelo.
Okay.
Nice to meet you. How are you? I've been out with black women or approached black women, and before they even knew me, they said, how many kids you got? How many baby mamas you got? Dating outside my race, I haven't had no issues like that at all.
Okay, and you are?
I'm Koro.
Koro.
I've been practicing abstinence for 3 years. 3 years with no sex. I'm looking for someone that can respect my views on this, someone that can love me for me.
And you are?
Both.
Both?
Yeah, I don't date black women now because of past experiences. They like to place that strong personality on you, and sometimes you just kind of, just like, you know, stand in a woman's place.
So do you have any idea why you're here?
We share some of the same opinions.
About?
Why are black women so angry?
Was your mother angry?
To a certain degree, yes. She had that anger inside of her, but she made sure that she didn't pass it on to me. I see how she handles that, and she gives off that vibe that I get from women here, but when it came to me and how she approached me and taught me about women, she said, don't deal with this.
That's interesting, because as a black mother,
Yeah.
my work was to help my son understand it so that he would know how to stand in it with a black woman. Why are you here?
My situation's a little bit different because I traveled a lot when I was a kid. Very talented, very gifted musically. So because of that, when I came back to my neighborhood, when I was dealing with certain black women, you're different. You talk funny. You dress funny. The music you listen to is funny. I don't like being because I had flip-flops on or I had a turtleneck, I'm gay. The problem I'm having is just because you're my culture and you're black, you don't get a pass. All the women in my family, I got a side of cousins that made me feel weird about that.
How can anybody make you feel anything? You get to choose how you feel.
You don't know that when you're kids, it's a psychological imprint.
What does that have to do with today?
Now, with a black woman, I have this in my mind before I even talk to you, she's gonna think I'm weird. And that bothered me a lot.
When I went to junior high school, I got bussed from Ocean Hill, Brownsville to Flatbush, and they spit on me and called me a nigger. They spit on me. And I was 13. And these were adults, not the children. So my point is this, that don't have nothing to do with who I am today. What is your experience?
A lot of black women, they don't want to talk to me. Some of them don't want to talk to me. Some of them want to talk to me because, number one, I'm a God-fearing man. I don't believe, like right now, I'm practicing abstinence. I'm not having any sex whatsoever.
Why you ain't in the church?
I am in the church. I'm going to tell you about the church women. If you don't have a collar, they don't want to talk to you. I'm going to be straight up.
What does
if you don't have a collar, they don't want to talk to you.
Do you know what the collar represents, though?
I guess it's purity or, leadership or, I don't know, a divine...
How about power?
Yeah.
How about power? That's what it represents.
Okay.
But let me tell you why I've called you here today. I've invited you here because my intention is to dismantle the myth of the angry black woman. I believe it's a myth. As a black woman, I believe it's a myth. I invited you here for a mixer tonight, just to be with some women. All kinds of women, all ages. We all have a story, we all have an experience, and we all get to choose. Tonight you get to choose how you're going to experience these women. But I do also want to Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a demonstration. Because I know there are hundreds of thousands of black men, all ages, who've had these experiences. And I believe, and it's my intention, for us to heal. Hello, my beloveds. Thank you so much.
Peace. I hope you got a good concept on that clip. I really hope you did. Because those are just some of the stories. Some of the stories that we know. I know plenty of stories why the black men and black women just don't get along. Now, it's not a great percentage. I said this before, it's a large percentage, but not a great percentage. Now, you only know what you know from what's around you, and what you can see around you, and what you can hear around you. Your family members, your friends, your neighbors, and so on and so forth. But what people do gotta understand is this. We can't pretend that certain behaviors don't exist. Now, the angry black woman, that is an old concept that the masses used back in the 60s and the early 70s when the Black Panthers was in existence. What you had was the white man was stating the black woman was an angry black woman because the angry black woman at that point in time, she didn't take no shit from nobody. She protected her family, her husband, any means necessary. And she was prepared to die for her family. So that angry black woman came from that terminology, not how it's being used and abused today. Oh, you an angry black woman? Nah, the angry black woman comes from the white man stating that the black woman was angry and he didn't realize she's damn right to be angry. That you shouldn't have socialized economics, food, clothing, and a roof over your head, that you're giving a hard time for her and her man and her kids to live. You trying to take this away. So she reacts to it with full force. They thought this black woman was going to take a kneel and drop down. That's a bunch of bullshit. Back in those days, I know because I come from those days. You stepped in their face, they was bringing it. Not this animalistic shit now. Black women back in the days, they respected each other. When they said they was all sisters, they walked together as one unit. And they'll let you know, don't bring your bullcrap here. Not the way you see it. Not the violence if they beat each other, trying to destroy each other over some simplest thing you ever seen or heard. So I'm just trying to figure out, over the years, we lost that power. But to understand the angry black man, angry black woman, excuse me, that's where the terminology comes from. It was never that the black woman was mad at her man. And she was upset with the government. She was upset with the masses of white people and the discrimination towards her people. Understand that. So now let's get this out the way. So brothers and sisters, gods and goddesses, I really hope that you learned something here today. We must figure it out, and we must understand, or better yet, we must stop now this ignorance, this obnoxiousness, this behavior of this curse that's supposed to be broken. But I'm going to tell you, in the last 10 years, it don't look like it's being broken. It looks like it's constantly going on. And then you got all kinds of obstacles that's constantly in the way. The curse of the Willie Lynch exists. It is true and is real. The art of war of Sun Tzu is real. The masses, they don't got to touch you no more. It's all a psychological warfare. Why do black people hate each other? What are you mad about? What are you jealous about? What do you want? We gotta stop sitting here and talking about, oh, well, the white man put us in this position. Yeah, he did. Well, guess what? He put us in his position and then walked away because slavery is over. But the mentality of slavery still exists because some of you got lazy and you chose to stay as a slave mentally. And let's don't get it twisted. 200 million people are slaves to this day. I mean, physically slaves. And it's more than that, mentally slaves. You as a black man and a black woman, you've lost your power. You forgot who you is. Religion is your God. Sex is your God. Politics is your God. And money is your God. The 4 horsemen of a populace. Those are your gods, and those are the gods that rule you to this day. Because you want to look like them, you want to act like them, you want to talk like them, and now they pull back and they watch you. They watch you. The art of war, Sun Tzu. What game you playing? Get these books. Get them. I'll show you one more clip. One more.
You've heard a lot about this sister, but now we want you to hear from her. You've heard a lot of misconceptions and things thrown out there, but when I was sitting with her in her vehicle, and I said, well, Sister Shahrazad Ali, you said this. She said, well, brother, did you read what I said? And I said, well, you know, because I really hadn't read all of what she said. I had read bits and pieces, and I had heard through rumor and innuendo. But this is a strong sister. She loves the black nation very much. She loves the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. She wants to see the black man lifted up, and any black woman who's behind the black man. We need to get behind this sister, hear what she's saying, why she's saying it. She's been seen and heard on many different venues and formats throughout the planet. And as I say it again, when she says the black man and the black woman, we just have to define terms. When she says to listen and accept and follow the guidance of a black man, she's not talking about a pimp. She's not talking about a dope pusher. She's not talking about a disrespectful black man. She's talking about a black man who's living out his true way of life as a god on the planet Earth. So let's hear from this black woman right now. Let's receive her like she ought to be received. Sister Shahrazad Ali.
Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum. I'm not really sure how to follow up Sister Kwesi or Brother Malik. They are two such great speakers, and I have been so busy. I've been traveling, I've been running so, and when Brother Malik called me, I told him I just wouldn't have time. I just was going to be too exhausted. I just had some other stuff going. But as we all know, I know you all know here in D.C., he's a very persistent young man. And so he didn't stop calling until I said, okay, I'll be there. okay, Malik, I'll come, you know. But we are very, very grateful to have been the mother of such an example as Malik Zulu Shabazz. He is the type of young man that we are trying to birth. And the type of young man that we need for the future. Can we get it straight?
Not the camera.
Is that it? Yeah, I'm not big as everybody else. They have to get the mic right. But when Malik asked me to come, he told me that he was having a black education conference. And so, of course, that always intrigued me because I know that we need education and re-education on many things. So I don't want to today just, like sometimes I will have a tendency to do, to just describe the problems and leave it up to you to figure out what the solutions are. Today I want to offer some solutions and some plainer descriptions of some things that we can possibly work on our own self. We have to look at what kind of education do we need. We know we need an education on history. We have several educators here this weekend, yesterday and today, and all of us don't necessarily agree on the same history. So we know that that's something that we need an education on. And we need an education on how to come to an agreement. How we can finally get up on some topic that we all can agree on so we can try to make some progress in that area. So considering that, I wanted to concentrate on how to get a re-education about our own personal self. As I have learned, you know, we are very sensitive to correction. It is very difficult for us to allow anyone to point out to us or to tell us that we need to improve on something, or that we are doing something wrong, or that if we keep doing that wrong, we're going to ultimately destroy ourselves. It's very difficult for us to accept that. We are very, very sensitive about things. And it's certainly very difficult for us to accept instruction and correction from somebody that looks like us. We have an even more difficult time, and that gets all the way down to whether it's our parent or our mate or our sister or our brother. If they look like us, we kind of suspicious if they talk about us, and we decide that they're not really trying to help us. They're really trying to criticize us and destroy us. And once we decide that the correction is not really based on something that's wrong with us, then of course we become combative and defensive. So let's try today to keep our mind open more. I work around the whole country year after year. It's been 5 years I've been out here now trying to reach us on some level. And it's very difficult. These brothers and this sister here can bear witness. It's very difficult to teach us as a people, because we have been tricked in so many different kinds of ways. When you start talking about re-educating us or giving us our first education, it gets to be very difficult.